Good afternoon. This is Craig Forbes from Alpha Omega Wealth Management, and this is another edition of Business Mondays at the Urban Farmhouse. Today's theme is all about real estate, and with me is Bill Paulette of KBS. Good afternoon, Bill.
Good afternoon, Craig.
So, Bill, what does KBS do?
We're general contractors. We build buildings.
So tell us a little bit about the kinds of buildings you guys build.
Well, we do a lot of student housing. We do apartments. We do Walmarts. We do adaptive reuse in old buildings in downtown Richmond like this one. We convert into retail and apartments and living facilities and work like that.
How long has KBS been around, Bill?
38 years.
Wow. How many employees do you guys have?
150.
150, wow. So 150 employees, 38 years, you've had a lot go right, but this has been a really tough 5 years in the real estate market in general. Give us your perspective of what it's been like for you guys in the last 5 years.
Well, our volume is down, but it has not been down precipitously. Our profits are down, but they have not been down precipitously, and we've been very fortunate because some of the sectors of the market that we're in have done fairly well, and we've done better than I would have expected in the last 5 years.
So would you say Richmond, Central Virginia has been a little bit better than a lot of other depressed markets?
I think it has, yes.
How's your business stack up in commercial type work versus, say, government oriented work, and does that make a difference in terms of the last 5 years?
We don't do a lot of government work. Most of our work is private enterprise type business, so we don't do a lot. We do some, but not a lot. Probably 90% private.
Gotcha. So in Central Virginia, you guys build all over. How far do you go geographically?
We go into Maryland, D.C., Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and west as far as Roanoke and east to the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow, pretty good sized territory, but you do a lot in Central Virginia still.
Yes.
What are some of the really hot areas geographically in Central Virginia that you're working on today?
Well, the core of Richmond, the apartment market's been really good, and we've done a lot of work here, and we're also very busy in Virginia Beach, and we have a lot of work on that.
So we're doing these interviews at a place called the Urban Farmhouse, which is in general in an area called Shockoe in downtown Richmond. There's lots of young entrepreneurs here now, lots of high-growth businesses that have moved this way. It seems like more of these entrepreneurs are beginning to live and work very close to the same place. Do you guys see that in what you're building as well?
Yes. We've done a lot of work down in the Shockoe area. Examples, we did the Edgeworth building where Herschel Flash was located. We did Lucky Strike, which is adaptive reuse. We did American Tobacco. We did the Cedar Broad building at 18th and Broad. We've done 2 other jobs for Forest City. We've done a lot of work in Shockoe Bottom. There's a lot going on. It's a very vibrant area there.
It is a very vibrant area, which is really good for this area.
Yes.
So, a little bit of a different question. We haven't asked this to many people, but you guys are pretty big. What kinds of people do you hire? Are you hiring engineers or business people? Are you hiring them right out of college or with prior experience? And by the way, while I'm at it, it looks like we've got a lot of veterans coming on the market these days. Do you guys look for people with prior military experience?
Well, one of my top guys is a guy with prior military experience that we hired that came out of the Navy, who's turned out to be a great guy for us, Sam Stocks.
Right.
They know Sam, and he's been great. As far as the type of guys we hire engineers, but we also hire people that don't have technical degrees, and they end up being, my son went to VMI, as you know, and majored in English, and he's a project manager for us. And so we have all types who work at KBS.
Okay, but veterans are good too, which is great backgrounds.
Sam's been great for us.
Yeah, that's great to hear. One last question. Really tough last 5 years for anybody in just about any business, real estate in particular. But having said all that, as well as you guys have done, you had to have some really funny stories over the last 38 years. So some of them you and I can't tell on camera. Tell me one you can tell about on camera.
I'll tell you one. I thought about this because I knew you were going to ask me that question. When I first went into business, I'd been in business for about 6 months, and I got a call from a Ted, Ted Turner? You know who Ted Turner is?
Heard of Ted.
Ted Turner's company, who did outdoor signs and they wanted to come up to Richmond to build a building from Birmingham, Alabama. And the guy called me on the phone and said he was coming. He wanted to meet me in my office. And my office really had nobody in it but me and Dennis Lynch, who've been together for 30. We had no secretary, no pictures on the wall, really no nothing. So I got my wife to come in and act like she was the secretary. She went to the library and got a bunch of pictures that you could check out and put them on the wall. And she came in and acted for an hour and a half like a secretary. And that's the only time she's ever really been that nice to me. And then, and I even asked her to go get us coffee, and she did it. And then after the guys left, she went back to being the same old person, and he gave us a job, and we built it. And it was, I've told that story many times. It was a very, very interesting occurrence.
That's a great story. Well, Bill, thank you very much. This has been another Business Mondays at the Urban Farmhouse. This is Craig Forbes of Alpha Omega Wealth Management. And on behalf of Bill, our interviewee, and Renee Fisher at VACO, thank you.